And we are live once again, back with you with another scintillating edition of
The Wine O'Clock Report.
The Wine O'Clock Report, brought to you by wine, because why not? Anyway, we're traveling to sunny California today, which may not be so sunny because it's wintertime, but if you've ever been in California, it's pretty much sunny most of the time, except for in San Francisco, where it's pretty much cold and partly cloudy most of the time.
They say it never rains in California.
In Southern California, they say it never rains. Boy, that sounds like a song, doesn't it?
Somebody ought to write a song like
Somebody
that.
ought to write a song. We could make $1 million. And then we could quit our jobs and just work Wine O'Clock Report.
Yay.
Yay.
Let's do that.
Enough of fantasy. Now on to the present. And we speak specifically about this bottle of wine called...
The Present.
That's right. It is a 2014 California Merlot. You may wonder about that. Yes, they say Merlot in Paris and in Bordeaux. They say Merlot in California and most of the rest of the country. But here in Arkansas, sometimes we say Merlot just because we can. But
I am in Arkansas and I don't say Merlot.
Okay,
I say
good.
Merlot.
Merlot. Yes. Merlot. Okay.
Merlot.
So this is Miles from Sideways' least favorite wine. So that's why we thought we'd try it now. Because Miles has a good head and nose for wine, but he's a bit of a snob. So, and we're all anti-snob down here in Arkansas. That's right. No snobs. So we're actually going to try this quaint little Merlot here and give you our little opinion.
Yes.
So are we ready for activation of Merlot?
I'm ready.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yay, wine.
Yay. Smells good.
Ooh, that is some plum. That is some plum.
It's still a little too cold.
A little bit. Well, I'll have to start decanting it early. With red wine...
Decant it.
Well, the thing is, with red wine, there's always a trick. You have to get it French room temperature, which means it has to be slightly cold, but not too cold. I like it a little bit colder than she does.
So the thing is, if you drink it too cold, it tastes like metal.
Yeah, it's a little too much metal. A good way to...
metal is good in an arena, not so much in a glass of wine.
Right. In an arena, of course. Like, hey, that's heavy, man.
Heavy
metal! Yeah!
Yeah.
Okay, so... Let's see. Yeah, and of course, if you find out, if you reach in, you forget to pull your wine out of the fridge, and you want to warm it up, you can do so a little bit in your hands, and that'll help it warm up a bit.
I've seen somebody on this web show demonstrate that technique before.
Oh, yes? Mm-hmm. Who was that?
Real cute girl with red hair.
Do I know any cute girls with red hair? Yeah, I know one or two.
Right?
Are you sure that's not strawberry blonde?
Not.
No, it looks red to me. Good. Yay! Yay!
Mwah.
Ah. Well, now we were just mentioning Sideways. There are two movies that every wine lover is required to see multiple times and own copies of. Sideways, yes. And I know she's going to be a little bit sad when I mention the other one. It's called Bottle Shock. And the reason she's sad is that one of her favorite boyfriends, virtual boyfriends, she's got several, has just died, and that is the best actor in the world, Alan Rickman.
Here's to Alan Rickman.
Yes.
You guys have probably know Alan Rickman from the Harry Potters because he was Snape. Mm-hmm. Obviously.
Yes, Severus Snape. But also in Bottle Shock, he plays a snooty British wine critic who goes out to California and starts trying their wines, and he finds out these wines are pretty good.
Is this one from California?
This one is from California.
And it's the present.
It's the present, yes. But the winery in Bottle Shock is called Chateau Montelena, and maybe, just maybe, we might even feature one of their wines later on.
I sure hope so. There's an empty Montelena bottle over there.
We have had it before, but right now we're right after Christmas. We're in January, and we're not breaking out the fancy wine just yet. We're going with the basics, as a lot of you are.
But this one is really quite good. I like it a lot. Now,
lots of fruit flavors. Love fruit flavors.
Lots of fruit flavors. Now, like most Merlots, it's not my favorite because it's not as complex as, say, a Cab or a Shiraz, which is my favorite, right?
Right. No, it's not.
But
It's a little simplistic, but it's a great gateway drug wine for people that start out with white and go, is there a red that I like? And maybe Pinot Noir is very, very tasty when it's done well, but it's hard to get it at a good, inexpensive bottle. So maybe try Merlot first.
I would try Merlot definitely if you're a white drinker.
Yes.
A drinker of white wine.
A drinker of white wines.
Who would like to
There we
venture into the red wine world, because it is an acquired taste and it is an education of your palate.
Yes.
I mean, you
have to build up a palate over time.
But in order to do that, you really have to be willing to taste things. Because
Right.
I don't know if you remember, a couple episodes ago, I had this encounter with a bad wine. In my opinion,
In her opinion, which is the only one that counts, guys.
it's the only one that counts for me. I don't know about y'all. And of course, it counts for you. But
Of course it does, 'cause
them
it
out
has
there.
to. But anyway, Merlot.
And they say husbands aren't trainable.
And you know that.
Good boy.
Yeah. And actually, Merlot gets a bad rap, but when you consider that one of the greatest French wines ever made is called Petrus, Chateau Petrus, and Chateau Petrus is 100% Merlot.
I did not know that.
Yes. Now,
Is that a first growth?
No, it's not a first growth,
No.
and we'll get into all of that later when we enter our French wine period. Yes, no? But
Yes.
for now, well,
Oui, oui.
Petrus is just a great wine. Hadn't heard from a lot of them lately. Not the last dozen years or so. So I might have to look them up. Maybe they're going through a downtime or whatever, which is very, very possible. Wine is a living thing, and they have trouble with hailstorms and phylloxera and all of that into.
I thought phylloxera was obliterated.
Yeah, it probably is, but that illustrates. That's an example to illustrate the problems that wine can have. Wine can be affected by weather, by pests, by a bunch of different things.
They say that grapes are actually quite temperamental, and you have to get them just right. Especially these Rashasha wine grapes. Concord grapes, not so much. They grow pretty much,
They definitely grow in Concord, I would think.
I think that's.
I don't know. Do they grow in Lexington? Or do they grow in Boston or any place else? I would bet they grow in Concord. Yes.
So that's a funny history joke in case y'all don't understand it.
And in case you don't understand it, well.
So if you don't understand funny history jokes, I've got a television recommendation for you.
And what is that?
You should watch Drunk History.
That's right.
It's really, really funny.
It is.
These people get just
smashed
off their rocker drunk. And tell historical stories.
That's right.
But that's not what makes it funny. What makes it funny are the reenactments that they do in between. They do these little sketch.
They do these little reenactments.
But what's really funny is the drunk narrative is being
spoken by some of the reenactment people.
So they're making the narration, the voiceover for the sketches, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's actually a very clever show.
I think it's on Comedy Central. That
sounds right.
We actually stream it on our Roku, so we look at it on Hulu. So
that's right.
But it's called Drunk History. It's hilarious.
Yes, it is. And all drunks and winos should know all about it, because I bet you've told a few drunk histories. Maybe not probably of historical reenactments.
Maybe.
Of historical events. Sure you have. When you drink, you get philosophical.
You do get philosophical.
Yeah, you do. And you want to go into things like, as Gallagher used to say, you ponder questions. You ponder questions like, what makes the Teflon stick to the pan?
You had that in another episode.
I probably did.
Quit using that example.
Well,
Find something new.
When you get my age, you get kind of, the dementia starts to creep in.
The main thing I remember about Gallagher is that he would smash
Sledge-o-matic,
and the whole big thing was at the very end, he would smash a watermelon, and the people in the front row all had, by this time, raincoats and things.
Right. So, but anyway, he was very, very funny in his day. And they even brought him back. Yeah, and they even brought him back recently for a commercial. So there you go. All things must come around. All good things must come to an end. And speaking of which, my dear, is it time to end?
Time.
Well,
they're gonna miss us though. Parting is such sweet sorrow.
Yeah. Ooh, somebody just quoted Shakespeare. Yeah. I would say it was for me, but I know it's for Alan Rickman, who was a great Shakespearean actor. And this is a good little Merlot.
It is.
Not too pricey.
Alan Rickman would like it.
Lots of toasted vanilla, like is promised on the label. When you read a wine label, and we're not talking about the front because that's just a picture. But
Always
on the back,
read the back. Always read the back of the wine.
Well, and later on we'll get into a much more thorough explanation of what should be on a wine label. These are kind of skimpy, but they tell you.
We might actually have to start planning these episodes instead of just winging them.
Oh no, it's so much fun to wing them.
But
it's more social media.
But we keep promising them things and not delivering them.
Not yet.
Pretty soon we're gonna get hate mail, and it's gonna be all like, "Hey, you told us you were going to tell us what's supposed to be on a wine label, and we've watched you 25 times and you haven't said nothing about it anymore."
Get a life. That's my answer.
That's not my answer. Please, please. I am here to serve the audience.
Oh, yeah. Especially serve the audience. Would you like a refill?
Are you being served?
Are you being served? That's another great show.
A minute and a half ago, we said we were going to shut this thing down. We kept going.
And we kept going. But now, all good things must come to an end. And here we go. We are signing off in the name of wine and drunk history. And as always, later, people.